The first question I'll ask is, why run for Congress?
I am so glad you asked that question. You know, Rob, our country's in trouble. And it's a funny feeling when you know you're prepared, you can't sit back and not stand up and fight for this country. And so going to Congress, there are some issues, not the least of which is the debt. We don't have an energy policy. Our tax system is crumbling. I can fight. I'm prepared to fight. And more importantly, I'm prepared to fight for the state of New Mexico, which has some very unique problems.
Now, Dan Lewis is going to be running against you so far. I mean, who knows, someone else might throw their hat in the ring. What distinguishes you from Dan or from any other possible opponent?
You know, I think it is the breadth of my experience. You know, I was privileged to serve in the legislature for 8 years, and that is, you know, serving with 70 people is probably a little closer to serving with 435 people. But the breadth of my background, my work background, having been all over the country and understanding very clearly what the labs and our military bases mean for the state of New Mexico, and also what the tax policy and the burden of federal land is to a state like New Mexico. And so I think that puts me in a very unique position.
Now, the House of Representatives, if you got elected, today they're voting on cut, cap, and balance. How do you feel about that? Do you support that?
I have to tell you, I have not read the legislation, and you probably know that I like to do that before I say how I'm going to vote. But is it time to cut? Yes. Is it time to cap the debt? Absolutely. And balanced budget, please. You know, you balance your budget. Legislatures in most of the states are supposed to have a balanced budget. So why is the federal government exempt? You know, for those foundational principles, I'm for that.
Are you basically a fiscal conservative? Well, obviously you're fiscal conservative, but how do you feel about social issues? Where do you stand on those things?
Well, you know, to the very largest extent possible, I think the government should stay out of your life, but I am a social conservative as well. Do I believe life is precious? Absolutely. From birth to death, I'm absolutely adamant that life is precious, and that is one of the things that makes our country different and great.
And last question for you, do you think that there's a feeling in the country right now that maybe social issues should take a backseat to the more pressing fiscal issues?
Yes, absolutely. Right now, we're in peril of losing our country because we have been fiscally irresponsible. And so there are some priorities, and right now the priority needs to be getting our financial house in order.
All right, Janice Arnold-Jones, thank you very much.